Namaste, this is Mahesh here. Today we will be talking about vitamin B12. I had some information in the posters but just putting into a video so that we can avoid repeated questions and also get this information to a lot bigger audience. So as usual, I have a disclaimer. This is for education purpose only. All the information is from the research papers which I have referenced. I'm just a parrot trying to read and repeat, and we have some minor opinion based on the experience. A special thanks to all the people in our WhatsApp group who have tried and also given the feedback. So if they don't give the feedback and if they don't do the medical tests, we will not know whether the B12 is increased or not. So we had a very good positive feedback about the Ganji and other things suggested. They got a vitamin B12 increase, very nice. So with this information, we'll go more on this vitamin B12. So vitamin B12, it's also called cobalamin. Cobalamin is a vital nerve health, red blood cell production, and DNA synthesis. Its deficiency can lead to fatigue, memory loss, depression, anemia, and even nerve damage. And many people, especially vegetarians, now all non-vegetarians also facing the same problem. So, but this information is from the paper, so it is like this. Older adults, those who have digestive issues, develop a deficiency without realizing it. What are the signs of B12 deficiency? Is when you have fatigue, brain fog, irritability, tingling, numbness in hands or feet, memory loss, memory issues, depression and mood swings, pale skin, heart palpitations, glossy smooth tongue. So one is catchy here is glossy smooth tongue that you can take it. All the other symptoms also you will have if you have vata problems when you Ayurveda vata issues. All this also will have, even you will have hair loss also, which is I think it is not mentioned here. And how to check for vitamin B12? What you can do? So there is a test you can do. Ask for serum B12 MMA test and homocysteine for full picture, like what does it do. And what you can do is improve your gut health. We'll talk about it later. Um, so check you don't have too much acidic levels and check for leaky gut. And this is most important. Eat naturally grown grocery which is grown without pesticides. We will know why we should eat without pesticides little bit later. Read labels of every ready food that you prepare. It should not contain any preservatives. So that's the key. If it should not contain any preservatives, and other thing is pesticides. So if you see what is the common between these two is it will kill. It will kill. So pesticides is to kill the insects or any germs, and preservatives also it is to kill and protect any fungus or any bacteria from coming. So it is more important that you will have fresh produce and which is grown without pesticides. So now even Ayurvedic medicine, even all the medicines will have preservatives because they are just trying to serve the people. Okay, so the people are asking for it that I need this medicine to be there for very long time. So that's why they are just putting it and giving it to you. But uh, that can take the whole discussion, divert the whole discussion, because there is a concept of anupana in Ayurveda. So anupana is what you take together with medicine. So okay, so if you are taking a pesticide as a preservative as a anupana, then the expected um, you may see some results like 50%, but whatever the expected results, you will not get it. So with that information, let me go a little bit further. So supplement smartly. You can take some vitamin D3 supplement. Vitamin B12 supplement. Uh, we have some side effects of supplement also. We'll talk about a little bit in the next slide. and you can pair folate and B6 for better absorption of vitamin B12. So folate, we saw just a few days back. I created a video. The folate is there in um, many regular food. It is like Malabar spinach. It has lobia. It has I mean, you can get folate from either supplement or from the natural food, um, and and correct the root cause. So you need to identify a root cause. What is your root cause? And then if you know the root cause, the 50% of your problem is solved. So then you can solve the problem easily. Then check for constipation. Digestive issues means you will not have constipation. You have regular motions, proper regular motions, meaning it is not watery or it is not very hard. So you will not have any constipation, any irregular motions. Observe for bad smell for a long time. If you have bad smell in your motions for very long time, motions means stool. Sorry, motions means stool. It's just a good name to tell. So there should not be any very bad smell from stools. Very bad smell meaning like it should not be like you cannot stay in there for a long time. So that should not be that bad. So that's the meaning of very bad smell for a long time. And then with this information, let's go to next what what I wanted to convey. So so these are the research papers where it says that vitamin B12 is not from the food, but it is produced by a good bacteria in the gut. It should be good bacteria, not all bacteria. It is a good bacteria in the large intestine. Um, so usually what it is told that this good bacteria you inherit from your mother. Okay. So whenever a mother has a natural birth, so whatever the good bacteria from mother's um, large intestine will come to you, uh, come to the baby. So one of the reason they lose the nowadays the recent trend, they lose that ability because there is no natural birth. First thing, you can also if you are curious enough, you can also look it up in internet that you can say vitamin B12, gut bacteria, and natural birth. You can say that there are like documentaries on this topic. I want to keep my video very small, so that's why not too much talking about it. And then there is a particular bacteria which is um, um, Cetobacterium someria. So that is the one, somere. So that's the one. It improves the B12 and also pathogen infection. So pathogen means a bad bacteria basically. Pathogen infection and strengthening the interaction with gut microbiota. So that is the first research paper which I have take the information. Second one is human gut bacteroids capture vitamin B12 via cell surface exposures to lipoproteins. That is also another one. And healthy adult gut microbiota sustains its own B12 requirement in an vitro batch fermentation model. Meaning, like if you have good, let's say that you got a good micro gut gut bacteria from your mother or any time, it doesn't need any special things. If you keep that environment right, batch fermentation model, meaning your stomach is in a right environment for the bacteria, it sustains B12. You don't need anything else. Okay. And colobin biosynthesis is a process which bacteria or archaea make cobalmin. Cobalmin means vitamin B12. Many steps are involved in converting. So these are the steps it involved. So basically, what it is trying to tell is the bacteria is responsible to create the vitamin B12. It is why non-vegetarians get vitamin B12 because they eat the gut of the gut of the directly eat the gut. So instead, you can make your gut a factory for vitamin B12 by keeping your stomach nice. Now, what we see from real experience, real world experience, all non-vegetarians are also having vitamin B12. Um, Mostly, actually, maximum vitamin B12 is vitamin B12 deficiency is seen as non-vegetarians now. Okay. So and also there is a caution. Um, like I said in the first slide, like I have a caution. So over supplementation of vitamin B12 alters microbiome host interactions in the gut, leading to a accelerated citrobacter uh, Bacterodentium colonization pathogenesis in mice. Meaning, like you don't, if you take vitamin B12 in excess, it will cause health issues also. So you should be like, that's why it is called, that's why I said smart, supplement smartly, not blindly. Okay. So that is one. Don't over supplement. So what you can do is you can supplement once 1 week a month if you're taking supplements 1 week a month, or you can take like 3 months a year, something like that you can do. Don't take it forever. That will actually make your body lazy first thing, and then it will increase the dependency on the supplements. And what are the hidden reasons for vitamin? So one reason what we saw is you are not letting the bacteria grow in your gut due to pesticides, or due to pesticides, and also um, what was the other thing? So one is pesticides we talk about, and another thing is um, basically preservatives. So pesticides and preservatives, these two are poison, so they will avoid their purpose is to stop the growth of the bacteria, so that's why you will have problem. But what are the other hidden reasons for vitamin B12 deficiency? So chronic use of metformin. So metformin is used for metformin is used in for many diabetes patients. So usually diabetes patients, they use metformin for long time, and then they get even vitamin B12 deficiency. That is one of the one. And bacterial overgrowth SIBO, meaning like there are parasites like um, parasites growing in your gut. So due to that bad bacteria, the good bacteria will be less. And if you are consuming very too much of alcohol, it happens. And if you the night and then there is a laughing gas exposure, nitrous oxide, that also causes, that might be very rare. um, or if you are always exposed to it, then it could be happen. Then there is genetic mutations, that is very difficult to identify for now. And there is a heavy metal toxicity. I will talk in detail about that. So mercury, lead, cadmium can interfere with vitamin B12 transport and storage. Low stomach acid, so hypochloridria. So this is the acid that even without drugs, chronic stress will cause a low acid. So make sure your stress level is very low. Um, and also when I say stress, I would like to mention, which I would not, I would like to say, which I have not mentioned here. Have a good sleep, because good sleep reduces the stress a lot, and also it will help you with the gut bacteria. Okay, so can lower the stomach acid. And then autoimmune diseases nowadays, too many people are facing autoimmune diseases, like thyroid, it is Hashimoto's, and many other gut inflammation. All these things will cause the B12 deficiency. Now let's talk about heavy metal toxicity. So mercury in the food will cause the vitamin B12 deficiency. So mercury could come from, usually is coming from the fish from the ocean. So why the ocean, why the fish from the ocean has mercury is because mercury enters the water from coal burning plants and industry. It gets converted to a methyl mercury and by bacteria and accumulates up in the food chain. Okay, bioaccumulation. Special caution: the pregnant ladies don't have too much of high mercury fish. Basically, freshwater fish you can have, and freshwater also, that freshwater also if you are having fish, first of all, if you are having fish, you can have freshwater fish, and then that freshwater should not have any water from industries, or garbage water or any coming from that. Okay, so sea water already is contaminated; it has mercury already. And lead in the food. So lead is usually coming from some of the old style plumbing. So they had a lead based pipe. So from that it can come. And imported spices. So many in US basically. So there were some spices which were imported. They had some lead content. So that could have come from a bad procedure to grow, or from like they used the water which was contaminated to grow, whatever the reason it is. So the imported spices had lead in it. So and the canned from countries using a lead solder in the cans. If the cans are soldered using a lead, then it will have. And old ceramic or clay pots, especially unglazed or traditionally glazed, so that will have also lead content. And leafy vegetables and root crops grown in polluted soil. The soil might get polluted due to the industrial poisonization, like industrial water, which has a residual lead or cadmium or heavy metals that gone into the soil, and then it is we have not put an effort to clear the soil or make the soil proper, but then that they grow with that garbage water or whatever the water it is, um, then you will get into the food. Okay, and candy or snacks, especially imported or wrapped in a metallic foil with lead based ink. So the printing will have some lead, so that if they have printed and it is packed in the candy or snacks, it will have it. Hidden sources also, some hidden sources where the lead is coming into a food. Improperly prepared Ayurvedic medicines. So Ayurvedic medicines will have lead, but it is usually purified lead. A proper procedure is there, like they should be purified 3 times, like using milk, using gomutra, and using other methods. So if it is not properly prepared, like procedure is not followed but made for profit, very in urgently, then it will have. So those medicines will usually have suffix of rasa, um, like uh, uh, so many rasa medicines are there, uh, like Chandramrit rasa, and then Suta Shekhara rasa. So many rasa medicines are there. You can, so those, whatever the medicine name, it has suffix of rasa. That is rasa shastra. It will have mercury also, purified mercury, and purified mercury is must, because rasa means mercury. Rasa means mercury. So it will have purified mercury. So as Ayurveda is proven for thousands of years, that is not the problem. But if it is not prepared properly, that is the problem. Okay. So if the Ayurvedic medicines are not prepared properly, and if that Ayurvedic medicine has a rasa as a prefix, then there is a possibility that it might have unpurified mercury or lead, which might cause some problem. Okay, otherwise it is not a problem. If it is properly purified, it is not a problem. Okay, and some vinegar stored in a ceramic jars with lead glazed. Okay, so they use lead for glazing the ceramic. And if you have stored any vinegar means it will absorb the lead faster. But any, I would say, like any food you store in a lead glazed, it is not good. Okay, and cadmium in the food. The cadmium, like cocoa and dark chocolate, due to soil contamination. Leafy greens, to soil contamination. Root vegetables, which is grown in cadmium rich soil, that is also soil contaminations due to industrial all these things. And shellfish and oyster will have cadmium content. And grains and cereals, depending on the soil and water, they have grown in that kind of soil, if the soil is contaminated with the industrial heavy metal waste, then only you will have, otherwise you will not. Okay. So basically it boils down to your soil is good or not. Okay. And cadmium is absorbed from phosphate fertilizer and industrial pollution and sewage sludge used in farming. So now we know how the cadmium came to the soil itself. So from phosphate fertilizer, if they are not using, they are not growing in organic or natural ways, then some fertilizer will have cadmium, fertilizer. And industrial pollution, as I told before, and sewage sludge, like if you have some sewage, because they use so many things to wash the toilet, or so many people do so many things that will have obviously a lot of chemicals, and that will go into the soil without treatment. It goes into the soil, it's definitely a problem, and that soil will come as a absorbed as a food for you. And smokers also have high cadmium exposure. Tobacco leaves absorb cadmium. And another common thing which people are getting aluminium. This is Aluminium is also a heavy metal, so that is also lead to heavy metal toxicity. Aluminium foils, vessels, lead in the old non-stick cookware coating, so that is also has aluminium. So these things will, why these things we are talking about these things is, heavy metal toxicity will actually kill the bacteria, and ultimately leading into a B12 deficiency. Okay. So heavy metal toxicity will will not let the life grow in your gut intestine, large intestine. So because there is no because it is not letting the life to grow in your gut, you will have B12 deficiency, because B12 is produced by bacteria. So let's go. How how to minimize the exposure to heavy metal? Vary your diet, reduce cumulative exposure from any one source, like you buy from the proper source. Buy chocolates from brand that is tested for heavy metals. Some premium brands do check for heavy metals. Check the water quality reports, or you use a certified filter for lead. If you are have a groundwater, um, you are drinking groundwater, use that. Use stainless steel or glass cookware instead of old ceramic or aluminum. Buy spices from trusted and tested sources, especially turmeric and chili. This information is provided also. Uh, Wash well and peel root vegetables when possible. So this is the information. And another information is, this is the most important one. How to increase the good environment for a bacteria in the large intestine, like how to increase the, so that the bacteria can grow and give you more good gut health. Okay. So by eating naturally grown food, follow Ayurveda dinacharya, because sleep also will influence your gut. And many Ayurveda dinacharya, part of Ayurveda dinacharya, what we do, like oil pulling and so many things, it will actually help your gut have good bacteria. It is a common sense that if anyone eat food sprayed with pesticides, so pesticides are a preservatives, which is actually their intent of putting is to kill bacteria. So when you eat that, you cannot expect that the bacteria can grow in your gut. Okay. So the bacteria also cannot flourish. Consumption of non-sour fermented food in winter. So you you so fermented food can be sour, so don't consume it, because it will create problems for you. So it can be lightly fermented but not sour. Consume in winter, so because winter is the best season to have the fermented food. Okay. And you consume the desi bilona ghee, because we saw that fat fat is necessary for the B12 B12 to get absorbed. Okay. So you have the best fat that you can have is the Bilona ghee from a native variety cow. And buttermilk at the end of the meal. The buttermilk also should not be sour. So make sure that you have buttermilk at the end of the meal, but buttermilk should not be sour. Okay. And have desi curd with some sweet in it, and it is the curd is a tricky food item, so it can cause problems, but it can cure you also. So what I have mentioned here is have in winter, because that's the safest season to have curd. With no problems, you will not get problems. And you use sabudana, sago. Don't overuse it, like use once a week, or like 2 weeks once you can use, consume sabudana, because it has starch, and it is also good for good bacteria. Okay. And you have manuka or kishmish, dry grapes, which is actually not treated with sulfur or any chemicals. uh, you have it regularly, that will also help for the bacteria to flourish. And consumption of Neerahara. So we have given the recipe, or ganji, uh, we have provided. So what we want to make sure is don't overuse it, meaning like don't take it for every morning forever. Okay. So what you can do is weekly once, or weekly twice, or weekly thrice you can do, and other 3 days you consume the normal, like whatever the food, that breakfast that you try to do. And I would say avoid the don't eat the nirahara at the end of the day, meaning night or evening. Don't have it. Have it in the morning. It's okay, but don't overdo it. Like don't use it forever. It will the overdoing will cause problems also. And it is also important to keep clean gut with because there is a good bacteria and a bad bacteria, so we need to always have a balance. That's what Ayurveda teaches you. Sama, sama dosha. Okay. So it is important to keep the clean gut, hence observe for a bad smell in the stool, and regular motions are necessary. And include fresh coconut in cooking, so because coconut is also acts as a prebiotic, so it is a food for the bacteria. And even manuka, uh, and also manuka or kishmish is also a prebiotic. Onion is a prebiotic. And what else? There is another one. Yeah, sabudana is also prebiotic. So in this slide we got already 3 prebiotic. Consume small amount of sesame seeds in winter. Okay. So this is also a prebiotic. It is a good food for the bacteria, so it will help you. Sesame seeds also has calcium, uh, but only there is a bad thing about sesame seeds is it increases the heat in the body. And also sesame seeds should not be consumed when you are pregnant. Okay, it might cause abortion, or or some bad side effects, okay, due to that. So that is another precaution about sesame seeds. And all of the above is not required if you have a good digestion and follow Ayurveda Dinacharya. Okay, eat good food. Ayurveda Dinacharya, you follow the Ayurveda Dinacharya and eat good food. Now, what is Neerahara and what is the solution for based? So we have a WhatsApp group where people follow, and if they get tested or anything, if they are open enough, they give us a feedback. So there were many feedbacks where they used this Neerahara and they got a good results. Like their B12, when when they got tested, B12 got increased. I have shared at the time to time, whenever I got feedback, I try to share so that it will increase the trust in that process of in the follow, so the others can follow and get the benefit. So so let's talk about Nirahara procedure now, and then we can go to the other tips. So it's a cooked rice. Let's say you cook in the afternoon, you have leftover rice. It is normal temperature. It should not be hot. Put lot of water for that rice and keep it for 8 to 12 hours in a uh, glass or clay vessels. It should not be ceramic, because ceramic had some lead, so ceramic might have lead. And use non-metal, because in this the bacteria will grow. It's called lactobacillus bacteria. It will grow, so that's why you use non-metal pot and have it in the and you consume it in the morning. And one precaution is you make sure that whatever whenever you are consuming, it is not sour. means you have not kept for very long time. Like if you keep it for like more than 24 hours, 36 hours, it will become sour. So that time is not right for you to consume. So this will have lactobacillus bacteria. Our gut will have 70% of the lactobacillus bacteria. Okay, and some tips from experiences and all other. So include buttermilk. Now, buttermilk, the process how it is made is from the curd. The curd is made from the milk from the native cows, which is forest or naturally grazed. And you can make a ganchi with the different types of grains, meaning like different variety of rices. You can make with cooked wheat, we can make with cooked barley, and there is a beetroot ganchi also. There is a separate formula. You can create a red carrot ganchi, pickled cucumbers. So pickled cucumbers, try to not to buy, make it yourself, because when you buy from the store, it is usually contains the preservatives. So preservatives is, we want to avoid the preservatives. Okay, we want to avoid the that's our goal, to get a good vitamin B12. So include prebiotic like fiber. Fiber also not too much. Too much of fiber also is a problem, because too much fiber. If you consume too much fiber, what happens is it makes the stool come faster. But we want to keep we want that stambana in our stomach. We want to keep the food in our stomach, so that the food can be absorbed. So let's say, for example, if you have a lot of loose motions or a diarrhea, you feel very tired. That is because food is not staying in your stomach. And even constipation also, it's opposite. But constipation doesn't reduce your strength. Constipation might cause other problems, but it doesn't cause your strength to go down. So if you are constipated, you will have strength, but some other problems will be there. So it should not be constipated, as well as it should not be loose motions. So that's why don't consume too much fiber. So too much fiber is also a problem. So make sure you don't consume too much fiber. Okay, so the fiber content is as we require. The fiber content is there in the food, so you have to eat the proper food. For example, onion has good fiber, so it's a good prebiotic food. Garlic also is a good prebiotic. Fiber content, I am not sure. Food which has natural fibers like black eyed peas, lobia also has good um, fiber content in it. So just we read a few days back. And what else here it is there? That's pretty much it. So the conclusion, I think I just need to give the conclusion, because so many topics came in between. Conclusion is, you let the good bacteria flourish in your stomach. You have varieties of grains. You have variety of foods, so that different types of bacteria can be flourished. Um, so the better the bacteria, the better your digestion will be. And don't consume too much fiber. Have a sufficient amount of fiber. That is all easily identified using a very easy techniques like observing your stool, and observing, eat only when you feel hunger. And if you don't feel hunger, some tips like eating salt and ginger at the starting of the food, and consuming the buttermilk at the end of your meal. All these things will help. So this is the conclusion. Avoid preservatives and pesticides, which is actually stopping your gut to flourish, which is stopping your bacteria to flourish, which is causing all problems for you. And try to obtain all the food items or all the ready-made items and all the medicines which doesn't have preservatives in it. So with this information, I think I am almost done. So about me, so my goal is to guide people towards healthy body, mind, and good karma. So for to go towards that goal, what I started is, first I started to learn Ayurveda. we learn Ayurveda from a proper books like Ashtanga Hridaya, which is which is a which is a which is a very old book, um, which is coming from a proper lineage. Um, and then we started a farm and planting some fruits and other things. Right now, we are getting good amount of moringa leaves and other things, which is actually very good. Without pesticides, we are not putting zero pesticides. We are following many positive techniques, like we are growing 9 types of trees, which is called Navagraha plants in our farm. Many other things we are following. We are actually spraying Ayurvedic herbs to uh, to uh, to stop the pests. Many other things we are following, and I am and to tackle the mind. We What I understood from my experience is just the food, it will help you to some extent, but we need to handle the mind also, because you might have trauma, you might have so many things due to many reasons, due to your past karma or many things. For that to handle the mind, I am a trained and certified past life regression therapist. I can I can I can try to see your past and try to um, make you feel and heal the past. And even in this current life, and if it is in past life, if you are able to if your guides will allow you to access. I am also a transpersonal hypnotherapy. Transpersonal hypnotherapy meaning, like, if you have any trauma or any negative thoughts, anything which is affecting, uh, due to that your body is getting affected, we can heal it. And if you have any bad experiences while you are very young, or when you are in the womb, that can also be healed. It is called age and womb regression, and also healing, it is called inner child healing. So all these things we are I am I am certified to handle this. This is mind. And good karma is sharing. And also we have mm, sharing and knowledge sharing. We have groups that which spreads Ayurveda and many other natural things. I'm a reader and learner of Bhagavad Gita. You might see me quoting from Bhagavad Gita sometimes, in even in health, for health or other purpose, wherever I feel it is relevant. I'm a reader and learner of other spiritual aspects, mainly the experiential aspects, not only theory. If you can experience and if you can practical, I am for it. And I am forever student. I am not like I'm learnt everything. There is it is even point one, it not even 0.1% I might know. So I am forever student. I am trying to learn. So with this information, I would like to conclude, and I would like to thank all my higher spiritual beings, which are helping me to do this. Jai Dhanvantari. Thank you and have a nice day.